Good day, Internet people. Deck profile time once again. Today it's you can tell hang on, where's my finger? There it is, down there. Hang on, it'll be around about half. My another version of my Tachikazes. If you're followers for the channel, you will normally see me using Tachikazes during special rules games. Because as Phil likes his dual knights because they run themselves. Pretty much, right, Phil?
Yeah, basically, it's easy to play.
This is what I'm like with my Tachikazes. It's purely retire stuff. It's really simple. You don't have to... There's not a lot of thinking involved when in this kind of deck. And that's what I like. It's a nice...
Just want a deck that does what it does.
It's just fun.
Yeah.
So we'll start with... well, of course, we'll start with the starter. Fresh from BT11. Ancient Dragon Baby Legs. Of course, it's a Forerunner, obviously. I'm not talking about Halo. Thumbs up if you get that reference. Counter +1 when this unit is put into the drop zone from the rear guard. If you have a Tachikaze Vanguard, which of course you will, you may search your deck for one copy of Ancient Dragon Tyranno Legend, call it to rear guard and shuffle your deck. You know, I've got a little secret to share with you. You know when they tell you to imagine it, that's how they keep playing on Vanguard, say imagine. Whenever this card ability effect works off, I imagine like an orbital drop ship drops onto the field and the Tyrannoquake bursts out. It's the little things that keep you amused.
Yeah.
And I think it's because I've been playing Halo too much. Right, triggers! We'll start with crits. I run... pre-6 crits. You've got the one which is the Ancient Dragon Flame Maiden, which looks really nice. And you've also got Ancient Dragon... Come on! There we go. DinoDragons. Put this unit into your soul. If you have a Tachikaze Vanguard, choose one card from your damage zone and turn it face up. I will be honest with you, I think I've only ever done this once. Because... as much as you desperately need the counterblasters in this deck, you need the shield more. Alright, next is draw triggers. Again, I also run here 4 copies of Titan Cargo and 4 copies of Cannon Fire Dragon. Yeah, I'm going to have to read that. Sledge and Kylo. Yeah, which is the same as Margol. Put this into your soul, choose one of your Tachikaze, give it +3. Again, never ever done that. Heal trigger. 4 copies of Ancient Dragon Orinth Healer. Standard. Right, why do I run this trigger lineup? Because in my other decks you see it's standard. I run 6/6/4 because you need the draws in a Tachikaze deck. You need them, no matter what people say. And 6, and the way I balanced it, 6/6/4, it seems it balances itself quite well. The draws always normally turn up, much to my opponent's annoyance, as I have a massive hand size with a Tachikaze deck, which just doesn't make sense. But it gives you options, which is what you need for Tachikazes. Right, grade 1s. We'll go straight off with the standard of 4 copies of Ancient Dragon Paraswall, Perfect Guard, 4 of them, standard. This is the point where I would say, alright, let's drop the 4 copies of the Ditch for Strive for Tachikaze, but we don't have one yet. Tachikaze doesn't have one.
That's only because they haven't had any proper support yet.
Haven't they announced that weird set that's only got like 3 clans in? It's like Tachikaze's, Nubatamas, and Spikes.
Yeah.
So,
that'd be interesting.
For once, Internet people, this little set has a clan for each of the 3 of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lena's going to want the Nubatama, Phil's going to want the Spike Brothers, and I'm going to want Tachikaze.
The Roaring Rampage.
So, it's going to be like our perfect set, isn't it?
If we each buy a box, then we can give each other like the cards for the clans that we each want.
We'll see how much money we've all got when the set comes out.
We'll use our credit. We ain't got no money.
Alright, hang on, let's see. What should we go with? Let's go with this. We'll go with 3 copies of Ancient Dragon Triplasma. It's the grade 1 7k, but when it attacks, if you have a Vanguard with Ancient Dragon in its card name, it gains +3. So yeah, the card that used to be really popular in probably the season 3 era, the Break Ride era. 4 copies of Ancient Dragon Tyranno Blaze, the Limit Break Remover. Pretty much all I can say about that, really. And the Backbone Grade 1, Ancient Dragon Iguanagorg, the bane of many people's lives with this card. When this unit is put into the drop zone from the rearguard circle, if you have a Vanguard with Ancient Dragon in its card name, you may counter +1 and bring it back. It's the backbone of the deck, really. Need I say more? Grade 2s. 2 copies of Ancient Dragon Chirophal. Vanilla 10. Why? It's a good ride target. I only run 2 because it's a ride target and it's a 10k. So, sure, I could run some grade 2s that have abilities, but I don't want to make this deck too complicated.
Keep it simple, stupid, that's what they say.
Yeah. Keep it simple, keep it fun. As in, keep 4 copies of Ancient Dragon Binakyle, the 9k, but gains +3 when it attacks with if you have a Vanguard of Ancient Dragon in its card name. It's a 12k hitter. You may notice that this deck doesn't rely on GB at all, really, because Tachikaze haven't had any GB support. Ancient Dragon Tyranno Bite. Tyranno Hang On. That would be a weird name for a card. This is the grade 2 version of Iguanagorg. Counter +1 when this unit is put excuse me, into the drop zone from the rear guard. Counter +1, bring it back. It's exactly the same as Iguanagorg. And it's a hint as well for what's to come. Right, grade 3s. You've seen the starter, so you know it's here. 3 copies of Ancient Dragon Tyranno Legend. Alright, Limit Break. Choose 3 of your rear guards with Ancient Dragon in its card name and retire them. When this unit attacks, you may pay the cost. If you do, this card gains +10 and a crit. I'll be perfectly honest, I haven't done that often. I will be perfectly honest with you, I rarely use that ability. Counterblast 2 of Ancient Dragon, cards with Ancient Dragon, so I'll name this game +5. Meh. Yeah, that's me being perfectly honest. I rarely use the main Limit Break ability.
What you're really waiting for is the main new grade 3s that happen to turn up in that set then to see what you can modernise it with.
And hopefully they've got Ancient Dragons.
I'm sure there'll be some Ancient Dragons in there.
Yes, I'm sure me and Mr. Merlin will be looking at that. We'll be looking at the unveilings of that set with keen interest. He's already showed me some of the stuff. Right, other grade 2 is from the Fighters Collection. Fighters Collection 2. This is an old card. Ancient Dragon Volcatops. Now, as you may have seen from previous videos of mine, I like to run decks that have different strategies in them. Because, as you've seen, if you remember Tyranno Legend's ability, even though I don't use him often, he is a card that focuses on a center strike. Volcatops boosts rearguard strikes. So, I'll show you. Counter +1, choose one of your rearguards with Ancient Dragon in its card name and retire it. Choose up to 2 of your rearguards with Ancient Dragon in its card name, and those units gain +5,000 power until the end of turn. So, retire 1, counter +1, retire 1, give something else +2. And for instance, if you have cards around, if the card you pick to retire is, say, Iguanagorg, counterblast 2, give 2 units +5 each. You can't really argue with that. It's a Fighters Collection card that was like dirt cheap because not a lot of people run Tachikaze Ancient Dragon builds like I do. But I was happy when this card came out. My little nephew, when he was 3, saw this card and really liked it because it's a Triceratops and he was into dinosaurs at the time. And then finally, hang on, it will be finally when I know where I've put that card. Where have they gone? Where have they gone? Where have they gone? There they are. You've seen the Legion, mate. Ancient Dragon Tyranno Quake. I would consider him probably being the main grade 3 of this deck, with the other two being the alternative backup strategies. Because it's Legion. What's the problem with Legion? Right. He legions with, of course, Tyranno Bite, which you saw earlier. During your battle phase, when your rearguard with the same card name as a unit on your Vanguard circle is put into the drop zone. So, hang on, where are you? Where are you? You're around here somewhere. There you are. So either him or him. This unit gains plus 5,000 power and a crit. Its second ability is choose one of your rearguards and retire it. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, you may pay the cost if you do. This card gains plus 5,000. Right. So that's a for instance. You're Legioned. Right. Hang on. Let's do it this way. Here we go. Right. You're Legioned. Legion attacks. I have to retire something else. So I retire Beam Kylo. He gains plus 5. So now he becomes a 25 by himself. However, if I've set the field up correctly, and instead of retiring Beam Kylo, I retire one of him. Instead of it becoming 5, he gains the 5, he gains another 5, and he gains a crit, and then you pay counter plus 1 and bring him back. A strategy I like to do a quick basic. You have him on another rearguard. So he attacks first, he's boosted. The Vanguard then attacks, gets rid of him, counterblasts him, and brings him back. And because he's brought back, he's automatically standing. So then you can put the triggers on him for another attack. That's a strategy I like to do. And since the introduction of Fighters Collection, Tachikaze finally got some strides. Since it's only 2 strides, you can't really sing and dance, but it's alright. The little stride is Destruction Tyrant Arc Raider. What Arc Raider does is choose one of your ray guns and retire it. When this unit attacks, you may pay the cost if you do until the end of the battle. This unit gains plus 5,000 power and an ability. The ability is, when this unit attack hits a Vanguard, choose one of your opponent's ray guards and retire it. It's the second choice stride, which is normally the first thing to go if I need to do G-assist. That's because the main stride of this deck is the hilariously Fighters Collection Edition Super Ancient Dragon Pearly Titan. When this unit is placed on the Vanguard circle, if you have a heart card of Ancient Dragon in its card name, every single card in my deck except for 3, or except for 2, is an Ancient Dragon. Choose one of each player's rear guards and retire them, and increase this unit's attack strength by the sum of the original attack strength of the units that were retired with this effect. Then, if the attack strength increased with this effect is 2,000, 20,000 or greater, this unit gains a crit. Now, in a normal game, that probably wouldn't happen, because I would most likely be retiring my Iguanagog or the Tyranno Bile, so they can come straight back. And the opponent I normally pick is the card that their decks are normally based on. I get rid of the irritating things. I don't go for the power increase. However, if we're playing a tag game, let me reread the rules. Choose one of each player's rear guards. Highlight that word. Each.
Yeah.
If you're playing a tag match, you choose not 2, but 4 rear guards to retire. You pick one off every single player's field. If you're playing a weird game where you have 4 players in a team and you're playing all simultaneously, you'll pick 8. If any of you have game rules like that, I'm sure there's some around somewhere that have created a game like that. But yeah, Pearly Titan is mean in tag. It's incredibly hilarious in tag and basically forces a perf no matter what the situation. And if you're playing tag, you can't perf for one another. So you either have to drop a lot of triggers, which will help your tag partner in later stages, or you're forcing a perf.